Namaste and welcome to this beautiful day. I'm Kathy Zerler with Deborah Basham, our host for this virtual yoga session that will be gentle, restorative, and all yours. You are your own best teacher. So as we begin, let's settle in on our mats into rest pose. And remember that this is your yoga. Always do the right things for yourself. My suggestions are simply that, suggestions, guidance, not demands. So don't make those demands of yourself either. I'm rolling down and stretching out on my mat in corpse pose, which is probably the most common rest pose and one of the most open poses. Arms are by the sides. You are flat on your back, feet are naturally open, and there's room around all of the organs and the systems. And so let's just make use of this space within and travel down the insides of our bodies and see how we feel. Just see how everything inside feels. And breathe in healing oxygen as you exhale out CO2, which plants need and we don't, but we manufacture it. And the opposite is true for plants. They need what we exhale and we need what they emit. Plants produce healing oxygen. So there's a great case there for being out in nature. Breathing in healing oxygen from all the greenery all around. And then deeply breathing out CO2 so they can survive just a little bit better with your help. Let's turn our heads from side to side now in a nice vinyasa flow, left to right, right to left, warming up our necks and acknowledging center in between. So when your head comes to the mat and you're looking up, that's center. You can feel it. And the other sides, left and right, are the extensions. The next time you come to one side, hold it there. Move up slowly to your range of motion on this side and hold it. And notice. Going up to your personal limit right now, never forcing. Breathe back to center. Turn your head the other way. Same thing on this side. Inhaling and exhaling, holding your place, noticing how it feels. Breathe back to center. There's lots going on here. Roll back your shoulders so you're squarely on the shoulders. Feel a small engagement in the scapula. And then lift one arm up just off the mat. This weightlifting is coming from the core, your torso, which is everything between the legs and the neck. So it's your trunk, your torso, your core, all same words for the same thing, all different words for the same thing. Holding up this arm with the core, with the shoulder, which is closest to the core, means you are supporting your shoulder with your breath. So if you can imagine your breath coming to your shoulder, do that. It's not necessary, but it helps. It's not necessary because it happens when you're breathing slower and deeper. The breath goes toward the working parts, which is delivered by the blood. And so everything's working. So the blood is flowing. But we like to think consciously about supporting whatever's holding the weight. And in this case, it's the shoulder. All at once now, drop that arm and notice and let everything melt. Takes only a moment to rest. Lift up the other arm off the mat. Be conscious of the shoulder holding the weight. Be conscious of your breath, oxygenating, healing oxygen into your system. Breathe in, breathe out, and smile. You are doing the right things for your beautiful body, your precious temple. Without our bodies, where would we live? Emile Zola. All at once, drop that arm. Let everything go. Let everything go. Put your hands now, palms down, on your TVA muscles right below your navel. And notice those muscles as we do some diaphragmatic breathing. So as you breathe, if you can breathe in and out through the nose, please do that. Otherwise, mouth breathing is perfectly fine. Inhale. Notice your belly filling up with air like a bellows. And then contract the belly on the exhale and squeeze out as much CO2 on the exhale as you can. And keep going for a few more deep belly breaths. Bend one knee now and bring that leg up close. Place both hands behind the knee and begin to massage the low core on the side of your body where the leg is up. And just notice. So when your leg goes up and away a little bit, the small of your back rises up from the mat as well. And when you bring your leg in, you flatten out that small area that's a small curve in your back. And then coming to center, lift up that leg. The knee is soft. Place both hands on the TVA muscles. As you tighten up those muscles and point and lower the leg very slowly as you can move while keeping moving. And when you get almost to the floor, then flex the foot and bring it back up just as slowly. Working the core. The movement is coming out of the low core. The leg is moving, and the pointing and flexing are energizing different parts of the leg. So you'll notice on the point, the top of your leg is stronger, more engaged. And you'll notice on the flex, all the hamstrings and the Achilles tendon and all the other connective tissues in the back of the leg are flexing. The next time you come close to the floor, release the leg and let everything melt. This resting in between the motion, in between the tension, which is the movement, is equally important. Tension plus relaxation heals our bodies. Tension plus rest is healing. Bend the other knee. Bring that leg up. Both hands behind that knee as you massage the left side of your body with the top of your leg. Breathing as you move. Being mindful of the movement, which means watch what you're doing like a witness. You are a witness to what you're doing. And the only rule is do the right thing. Don't hurt yourself. And we can avoid injury by being mindful, not going too far, too fast, and taking good care of ourselves in a safe way. Lift the left leg up in the air. Now the other leg, I'm on my left, sorry. I don't know where you are, but we do both sides equally in yoga. Palms down on the TBA muscles as you point and slowly lower the leg almost to the mat, holding in the gut, nice tight abs, and then flex the foot up, same thing on this side, slowly moving up and down at your own pace. And breathe. Pointing it down, flexing it up, breathing as you move and holding on tightly to the TBA muscles. The next time you come close to the floor, release the leg and let everything melt. Let it all go. Bend both knees now. Bring up both knees, one hand behind each knee, and roll on your back in a big circle or forward and back, making big circles with your knees on the sides of the air around you. Circling your aura as it was. And in and out, give a little squeeze, a little release. And then come into happy baby. Grab the feet and roll around a little more, encompassing a little bit more of the thoracic spine. So these two together give us a nice back rub that we can do for ourselves and also stimulate blood flow around our spine and all the muscles and everything that rely on breath of life and life blood to be alive, to live well, to thrive. Stretch out. Bring both arms up overhead behind you on the mat and press through the fingers and the toes. Lengthening, softening, lengthening, softening, lengthening. Noticing the difference. Moving mindfully. And stop that. Bring the arms back. And lift up your legs in the air. Keep your arms next to your body for stability as your legs come up. And point both feet. So you're looking straight up at the ceiling, looking at your feet, pointing both feet. Bring them back about just as far as you can bring them back. I mean, you could probably bring them back this far, but don't do this at home because you have to be quite flexible to bring your legs back this far. You can try it, but don't try it right now. Try it when you're ready to move really slow. This is called the plow. And your feet go overhead behind you on the mat. We don't do this in class. I don't even know why I did it now. I just felt like it. Anyway, point and then let go and then flex and feel the backs of your legs flexing. And soften. And then press the sides of your big toes together and squeeze the inner thighs. Soften, press the sides of your heels together, squeeze your glutes. Bend your elbows. Let your hands reach up like quick kickstands to catch your legs as you open up your legs into a big V and rotate the ankles. First in one direction, and then in the other. And then point and pronate. So turn the legs out as you point. Feel a little bit more stretch in the inner thighs. Let go of that and flex, and then supinate. Turn the feet in and notice again a little difference in the stretch. This is a dancer stretch, the supinate and the pronate. So they have all parts of their legs all the way around, really intensely moving. Let's say they're a ballet dancer, or really any kind of professional dancer that dances for a living. They really, and bring the legs in, stretch out. They really have to warm up to work safely. Bring both arms up overhead, and we do too, whatever we do. Press through the fingers and the toes, lengthen, soften, bring your arms back, bend the knees, roll onto one side. Use your elbow and the other hand to press yourself up safely to a seated position. And let's come into the tabletop. Arms straight down from the shoulders, knees straight down from the hips. Begin the cat table cow, flexing the spine up and down, tucking the chin for the cat, pressing up like you're trying to press your navel through your spine, releasing, back to the table, swaying into the cow stretch, breathing back to the table, engaging the core when you want to engage it, the low belly, arch into the cat. So right now, arch your belly right into the arch, really intensify the belly muscles, and then let go on the move back to center, and let go some more in the sway toward the cow. Keep breathing, keep noticing. One more complete rotation, up to the cat, breathe to the table, sway into the cow, and come back to center. Widen your hands and feet to the edges of the width of your mat, and press up to downward facing dog. Head hanging between the arms. This is an inversion, an upside down V for the down dog. Whenever you get a chance to allow your head to hang like this, do that, because the head is heavy and the neck is delicate. So here we are in downward dog. Press your belly toward the floor a little. Imagine your hips pressing back. And begin to pedal. Like walk the dog, alternating bending one knee and then the other. And then coming back to center, take one more down dog, complete at center, pull out, feel like your spine is sliding to your shoulders, hips are pressing back, and then walk your hands and feet together, forward bend. Slowly roll up. Tucking the chin will help alleviate any lightheadedness. As you roll up vertebrae by vertebrae, head comes up, shoulders roll back. Blood is flowing from your brain to your heart. Sweep your arms up, lift up, extended mountain. Widen the fingers, lift up the toes, bring back the chin. Now soften and plant your feet and look up and arch your back and lean back. Ah, delicious. Bring up your head and release. Sway gently from side to side with your arms at your side. Releasing, remember rest. Equally, if not more, important than the tension. Let's do some forward bends. So I'm in the mountain. You are too. Look at your feet. Feet are straight ahead. Shoulders are rolled back. Bring the elbows in close to the waist. Sit way back. Bend the knees. Fold in half. Touch the mat. Have 4 points on the floor before you begin to lengthen. And then lengthen the legs as much as you're able to. Shake your head yes. Stimulating the crystals. Tuck the chin. Pull in the belly. roll up, vertebrae by vertebrae. Think about stacking the bones into alignment. As your head comes up, notice that blood flow. Shoulders roll back, sweep up, lift up, look up, and lean back. Bring up your head, release, sway from side to side, swaying from the waist. Feet are not moving, so your body is swaying, most of it coming from the center, from your waist. Come back to center. One more forward bend right now. Elbows in, bend the knees, sit way back, touch the mat, shake your head, and lengthen, soften, find the length as you're in forward bend. Feel it in the low back, the sacral plate area, the sacred space. And now slide up to flat back. Leave your hands on your shins and come into flat back. So you're looking at your mat. From here, bring your arms up and behind you and fold your hands. This is humble warrior. So it can be more flat back, at more of a 90-degree angle, or anything in between. It can also be so that the hands and the arms are almost pointing up to the ceiling. And maybe they are. And then come back up nice and slow, release the hands, put your hands on the shins, come into flat back. Notice flat back. I'm going to show you one more thing in this position. We can do the cat table cow in this position too. So if you're a person that has a little trouble getting up off the floor, here's the cat. Tuck the chin, arch your back. Here's the cow. Come back to center and sway toward the floor. So you can do the same thing standing up as we did a moment ago on our hands and knees. So this is just, let's come back to the table. And one more cow for me to equal out both sides, and then roll up, back up to the mountain. In yoga, there are so many poses, variations, progressions, that we can do the yoga practice up until, there's no end to how we can adapt our bodies, our spirits, and our minds. Just have to say, yeah, we're going to keep doing this because it's healthy, it's wholesome, and we can do it for the rest of our lives. A ballet dancer, for example, they can't really do that work for the rest of their lives. They can go on and teach or direct or, tutor, but they can't actually do the work. But in yoga, we can actually individually do the yoga healing techniques and then go out and do our other work, whatever that is, as we move and change. So let's sit back now in our chair. Sit way back, bend the knees. It's important always that the knees are above the feet. Lunges are really hard on the knee joints, so we avoid those. Bring your arms up and sit back. Let your head and your neck kind of be inside your arms there, so the neck is lined up with the spine, and press forward with the fingers and backwards with your hips. Hold on to your chair. Breathe into it. It's a static pose. We call it yin in yoga. It means something like isometric used to mean in fitness, and the terminology changes, but the philosophy, the techniques are pretty much the same. Fold in half, hang out, let go, roll up. All we have to do is do it, right? Easier said than done. I know that. Roll it back. I understand that completely. Sit back in your chair. Sit way back. Our bodies are meant to move though, everybody. Come up with the front of your chair, sit back, push forward with the fingers, backwards with the feet or the hips, and hold it tight. Tight, tight, tight. And release and hang out. Roll up, nice and slow. As your head comes up and your shoulders roll back, put your hands on your waist. Widen your stance a little bit. Soften the knees. And twist in one direction, looking over that shoulder. Twisting from the waist. So the other parts of your body are joined in. It's all connected, but your feet are on the mat. Breathe back to center. So you're not moving your feet for this. Twist the other way. And you're moving and swiveling and rotating as much of everything else that you're able to. All of these rotations open up the organs from within. So this is all good. Come back to center. Rotate the other way. Look over that shoulder. Breathe, soften. Find your sweet spot in every pose. Come back to center. Twist the other way. Last time. Come to center. And release and sway. Feeling good. Do you feel as good as you look? Remember Miss Francis? She'd have her mirror up and she'd say, I see Deborah, and I see John, and I see Greta. Oh, and I think I see Mike in there for the first time. It's so nice to have you all here. And then all the little kids would hope that she would say their name. Because if she, you knew you were there paying close attention, and you just really thought she could see through that TV. Good memories. Widen your stance for tripod. One leg, the other leg, both hands together, the third leg of the tripod. Fold in half, hands in front of you on the mat. We're going to keep on rotating our spine, flexing, and stretching. Walk both hands over to the right foot, left hand on the mat, right arm up in the air, look up, look down, right arm down, walk back to center, both hands to the left foot, right hand on the mat, left arm up in the air, look up, look down, left arm down, walk back to center, both hands to the right foot, left hand on the mat, right arm up in the air, look up, look down, right arm down, walk back to center, both hands to the left foot, right hand on the mat, left arm up in the air, look up, look down, left arm down, come back to center, and roll up, one beautiful bone at a time. Shoulders roll back, and you are breathing. Come into the 5-point star. Find a place where you can move out of this, because we're going to do the warrior sequence. So you're in the 5-point star now. Bring back your chin, your shoulders are back. You can feel a small engagement in the scapula. Tighten up the belly. Now turn one foot so it points away and sink the other heel. And then bring the forward, and the legs are straight. Bring the forward arm up, and the back arm goes down the back of the posterior leg. And then look up and arch your back, and hold this. Bring up your head, bring the arms back to parallel, sink the forward knee for side angle pose, bring the forward arm on top of that thigh, and the other arm comes up overhead. Hold it here. The exception to this is put your upper shoulder somewhere else if it doesn't want to be here. It can be on the waist, it can be behind your back, it can be just hanging down here if you want it to be, if you don't want to move it that far. So it's up to you. Always to do the right things. Never force your body to do something that really doesn't feel right. And that's pretty good. It's a pretty good metaphor for everything else. If it doesn't feel right, why are you doing it? Come all the way back up. Find your center in proud warrior. Bring both arms together in the front. Strong fists and pull, bring it back. Slow. And when you get about to your mouth, let go and release everything that you're able to while still standing in proud warrior. Again, both arms together in the front, straight spine, strong fists, lots of tension. It's a heavy bow. Pull it back. And then about at your mouth, release. Hold it here. Again, both arms together in the front, strong fists and pull. Slower is better. Squeeze the gut, pull it back. Release. Breathe, let go, hold it here. Both arms together in the front, palms facing each other. Lift your arms up overhead, arch your back and look up. Bring up your head, bring the arms down, come back to center. 5-point star, and step together and gently sway and move, just maybe march in place so that you can release your body from the tension of that side of the warrior sequence. So we're going to go and do the other side now. Step out again, 5-point star, plant yourself, feel solid on the earth. Even though you're a star, you are still solid in the universe, and the top of your head is the top of the star. Soften up, turn the other foot, point the other foot, and then sink the opposite heel. We're going the opposite direction that we did the first time. Legs are straight. Bring the forward arm up, posterior arm down the back of that leg as you look up. Shoulder is soft in the back. The posterior shoulder is helping you arch your back by not muscling up too tightly. Bring up your head. Bring the arms back to parallel. Sink the forward knee for side angle pose. And bring the other arm up overhead wherever the shoulder feels best. And hold it. Remember, you're always allowed to move in the pose. When you see people on videos, you'll, well, not including me, because I always move around, but they edit the people when they get in the poses. They edit them then, and they what they film is this, the perfect pose. Come back up, keep the forward knee bent, but they don't see all the bloopers. All right, straight spine. Bring both arms together in the front, strong fists, and pull. Shoot the bow, lots of tension. Come back to about your mouth and let it go, hold it here. So you're just lucky you get to see the bloopers as well as the good stuff. Both arms together in the front, strong fist, and pull, bring it back. Slow, slow, and let go. Actually, I think the bloopers are pretty good too. We're all human, right? Both arms together in the front, strong fist, and pull, bring it back. Slower is better, lots of tension, and then the release, and hold. Both arms together in the front, palms facing each other. Lift your arms up overhead, arch your back and look up. Bring up your head, lower your arms, come back to center. Back to the 5-point star, energize, soften, step together, and release. Just rest and release. And let's go down now into a plank. So just walk out your hands to the top half of a push-up and come into a plank. Now this is not necessarily gentle restorative, but if you don't feel like doing the top half of a push-up, then you can come down to your forearms and then come back up on your feet. And that's a little easier. You can also be on your knees and your forearms. So there's variations here. What we're going to do now is go into Sphinx pose. Look straight ahead, space between the ears and the shoulders. Feet are pointed behind you. Knees on the floor, lift up the feet. You get a little bit more back arch here. Looking straight ahead, breathe in, smile. You do not want your face to look like those Egyptian Sphinx monuments in Egypt. If you've ever seen them, it's not really pretty, but it's amazing monumental sculpture. Bring down the feet, lower down the upper body, and rest your head on your hands and just melt. Let go and melt. And breathe. Turn your head the other way. Melt again. Let go of everything. Hold it here. Bring up your head. Push back up to Sphinx pose. Notice what we're doing. Coming into Sphinx, space between the ears and the shoulders. Back is arched. Knees are on the mat. Feet are up. We're in the pose, but we just rested. And we did it on both sides. We looked in one direction, then we turned our head the other way, and we rested in between the tension. That's a key point to moving, exercising, doing activities, working safely in life. Watch what you're doing. Take good care. Be present in every moment. Yes, it's a much overused phrase, but it means focus on what you're doing. Watch what you're doing. Come down. Rest your head on your hands, first in one direction, let it go. Let it all go all at once. Bring up your head, turn the other way, let it all go again. Bring your head back up, press up. One more Sphinx. Find your place. Look straight ahead, lift up your feet, settle in, and smile. This is a smile just for you. If you're by yourself doing this video at home, then smile just for you because you're doing the right things. And sending that smile reflex through your whole body is definitely a right thing. When you share your smile with someone else, you can make their day. Glowing smiles coming from someone else, especially someone you love, is powerful energy. Come down. One more time, melt. Head turned first one way. Let it go. And then the other way. Let it go again. Bring up your head and press your hands to the floor so you can come up and sit down. So we're going to do a little bit more spinal flexion from staff pose, which is this. Your legs are straight out, your back is tall, chin is back. Bend one knee and bring that leg up, and then put that foot on the outside of the extended knee. Bring the other arm back and bring the arm where the knee is bent into the inside of that knee. And now you're in the pose. So let's get into it. Look behind you, arch your back, twist from the waist, lift your chin a little, always moving mindfully. Find your edge, point this extended foot, and really see if there's something more you can either squeeze or extend. And breathe in and out. When we hold poses, it's tempting to hold our breath. And we don't want to do that. We need to continue oxygenating, continue working all the systems, including the respiratory system, circulatory system, digestive system, all of it. elimination. Oh, it feels so good to be in this. Feeling better, everyone, with every breath. You are an amazing and wonderful person. You have a right to be here. You are special, and the world would not be the same without you. Own that. Own your own specialness. And count on that. Forgive yourself for bloopers. You know, they're just bloopers. Everything's kind of remember Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, that book, and it's all small stuff? Yeah. All right, soften in place. Let it go, move around, feel the softness as opposed to the tension and the difference in how those two parts feel. They're two parts of the same asana, the same pose. Return to the flex, looking over the posterior shoulder, pointing, arching. I'm working with someone, personal training now, who gets quite a few cramps. And if you are one of those people and you get cramps, when you feel a cramp first coming on, press your finger into the little space that connects your middle of your lip to your nose, that place where you press onto your teeth. Just press that and hold it. And if you catch the cramp early enough, it really works. And then it'll go and the cramp will be probably gone. So that's a good acupressure point for cramping release. Okay, release the pose, come out slowly. Let everything twist back, uncross, find your sits bones and fold into a seated forward bend. Hang out. Reach for the feet, let your head go toward your knees. And roll up, bone by bone. Head comes up, shoulders roll back. Put your hands behind your hips and lift up in an upward facing plank. So you only have to really go this far for this weightlifting. But if you'd like to go farther, then you can tuck your chin and point the feet and let your body come to more of a plank. And if you'd like to go farther yet, you can arch your back and let your head come back behind you. So do that and notice. And come back down nice and slow. And we're going to do the other side of that spinal rotation. In stack pose, pull that fleshy part back. We all have it, it's back there. Roll back your shoulders. Bend the other knee. Put that foot on the outside of the extended leg. Bring that arm on the inside of the bent knee so that the bent elbow and the bent knee are both on the same side, and bring the other arm back, sitting tall. Begin the spinal twist, looking over the posterior shoulder. Point the foot, arch your back, look up, breathe and notice. Notice and breathe. Soften, adjust, but stay in place. Let your body move and see if there's a better place. And return to the stretch. Looking behind you, pointing the foot, arching your back, smiling. There's so much goodness in the world. It's so easy to tap into it too. All you have to do is say kind words to another person and smile and be genuine, and you'll find it. You'll find the goodness and it will come back to you tenfold. And release, uncross, come back, unwind, check your seat, forward bend. Hang out. Roll up. Hands behind the hips, shoulders roll back. Push up into your plank, your upward facing plank, whatever that is, and hold it. This is this is lifting with your own body weight. Bring up your head, come back down, nice and slow. And I'm going to tell you a quick story about body weight. I have another friend who was a client, and she had to have foot surgery. And she was really not looking forward to the foot surgery because she told me, these are her words, she could not imagine hoisting up her body off the couch or wherever she was with her foot being sore so she couldn't use her foot. And she was a little overweight. So she decided before she got the foot surgery that she was going to lose some weight so that it'd be easier for her in the recovery. And she lost the weight, and guess what? She did not have to have the foot surgery. She had taken the weight, considerable weight, off of that foot, everything holding up. I mean, look at our feet compared to our bodies. You know, they're little. All right, let's lie down on our backs and roll back our shoulders and settle in for the bridge pose. So if you're having trouble, like say something, let's say it was foot surgery, it was a challenge that you knew you'd need to face, is there something you can do to avoid surgery? Is there something you can do to make yourself healthier on the journey? And here's the real question. Is there something you're doing that's exacerbating your health, that's making it worse, that you're putting up your own barriers against having better health? Think about it and fix it if you can. I know that addictions are hard, but see what you can do. Let's go up to the bridge, weight on the shoulders, bring up your torso, rock back. So there's about a 45-degree angle between the knees and the shoulders. Your body is a straight plank. Hold it here. And step right out of your body and stand on your bridge. Really, what is going on around you? Are the waters clear? Babbling brook clear? Sandy on the bottom? Friendly fish swimming? Or otherwise? What's going on? Is your creek bed dry? Is it muddy? What's going on? Just notice what's going on around you and what you've done to contribute to that. And maybe you've done nothing. Maybe you've just had an accident, or it's just part of aging and our circumstances change. So we do need to be aware of the present moment, where we are in our world right now. Roll down, jump back into your body, and roll down bone by bone. Let your back touch the mat and begin to rock your back, releasing, relaxing, and noticing. Bring the knees up, one hand behind each knee, and roll on your back. Nice big circles. And then come up to happy baby. Grab your feet and roll around some more, encompassing more of your spine. Then stretch out. Press through the fingers and the toes. Make yourself long, lengthen, be strong. Come back, bring your arms back, bend the knees again. Bring your knees up close for my signature move. Knees in close, arms out into airplane. On a breath, Lower both legs to the right, all the way to the mat. Head to the left. Extend the left arm so the left hand is facing up and the right palm is down. Let go now. You're in a full body spinal rotation, one that is very healing, perhaps remediating something that's going on. I always hope for people just doing this to prevent any spinal injury, but things happen, and this is the pose that can help. Soften all around it, lots of muscles engaged that take this pose, but let go of the ones around it that you can. Just soften around it. You'll know what to do. You can look within with your mind's eye. I mean, if you're doing yoga, you're smart. So look around, make some good choices. Very slowly, one leg at a time, bring up your legs. And when you feel your back centering on the mat, bring in the arms, one hand behind each knee, and roll vigorously. Roll on your back, feeling good. Come up to happy baby. Roll around a little bit more. Let it work. It's great exercise, and we're just about done, everybody. Come down, hands behind the head, behind you on the floor, press through the fingers and the toes. Release that, bend the knees. Come back up with the knees, one hand behind each knee, nice and close, arms out into airplane, legs to the left, all the way to the mat. Head to the right as you roll the right palm facing up, left palm is down. You are letting go. Soften and let go. Breathe into your flexing spine. Very slowly now, one leg at a time, bring up the legs. Bring in the arms, one hand behind each knee, protecting the knee joint as you roll around. Back and forth, side to side, in a circular motion, going in both directions. Whatever seems right. And then lift up your feet in happy baby and grab the soles of your feet and roll around a little bit more. Stretch out, arms behind you on the floor. Lengthen, extended reclining mountain. Push through the toes, push through the fingers. Bring your arms back. Come into rest pose. And let's begin to consciously let go of our facial features. Scrunch them all together. Woo, and let it go like you're a little kid scrunching all your features toward your nose. Let's do it again. Woo, bring it all in and let it all go. And then your shoulders are back. Squeeze the fists, drop those, let the arms relax. Squeeze the core, bring it all together like a Kegel exercise, and you kind of hold it all in. And let that go. And then point the feet, let go. Flex the heels, let go, let your feet be naturally open, and soften into Shavasana. That awesome icing on the yogic cake that we all love. This is the part of yoga that allows our spirits, minds, and beautiful bodies to integrate into one being, wholesome, wonderful you. Genuine, natural you. As we close our practice today, bring your hands into prayer pose and let the sides of your thumbs rest in the center of your chest and your arms rest on your ribs. I'm inviting you now to please stay in Shavasana for a little bit longer. Give it 5 minutes. Challenge yourself. Do Shavasana every day for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. This is the best part. All of it's good and it all works together. And this is not the only thing that you should do. It is about the tension and the rest. It's the work and the play. It's the joy and the sorrow. It's all of those continuums of living all working together. And you are at the center of it. You are the star of your own life. As we close, please say with me, Namaste. Thank you for being here on behalf of myself, Kathy Zerler, and our production advisor, executive director, consultant guru, Deborah Basham. We bid you adieu. Bye-bye.